Hi guys, I'm 19 weeks pregnant today. Well, I'm actually 19 weeks on Monday because I didn't do my 19-week video yesterday. Don't touch that. I've got the video camera on the sofa, which is probably not a good idea. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm a day. Oh my gosh, today is hell. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to start off with symptoms. I have a few. Right, okay, I've moved it, so let's see if that's any better. Right, I have a list and I'm going to start with my symptoms. I've got a few that are new this week, which makes a change because I've just been having and talking about the same old symptoms every week. No, you can't have that. Right, is he your intro? Right. First symptom is bleeding gums, and this has started literally the past 2 or 3 days. Mummy! Is that your mummy? It's you. Third attempt. I've moved it even higher. Right, so bleeding gums is something that I've noticed the past 2 or 3 days really, and obviously it's only when I brush my teeth. Nothing major, it's just something that's new, but they really do bleed. It's not just like a little bit of blood when I spit out, it's like red. So I mean that's fairly common in pregnancy I think, and nothing to worry about. The only other thing, well, it's all to do with my mouth actually. Another new symptom is that I have ulcers in my mouth that are driving me insane. They're like really sore. I've got one on this side, one down here, and I've got one in my nose as well. So they're all on the same side of my face. Can you not put that in your mouth? All that. They're all on the same side of my face. Right. I have resorted to TV. I know it's bad parenting, but I don't care. Yep, so I've got ulcers, and I'm guessing that that's due to a lack of immunity. So maybe pregnancy is affecting my immune system, which again is really common. When I was pregnant with Izzy, I had an ulcer in my nose literally the entire 9 months. It just did not go away. And I think the reason I get ulcers in my nose is because when I'm pregnant, as I've said in previous videos, I'm just so snotty the whole time. So I'm always blowing my nose and I'm always wiping my nose, and I think it's just that causes the ulcer instead of anything else really. As for the ulcers in my mouth, that's obviously like all happened at the same time as the gums bleeding as well, so there's obviously some kind of hormonal change or something going on. Another symptom is that this week, this is probably the main symptom, is that I've just been really uncomfortable. Not in pain I wouldn't say, but this baby gets in some really dodgy positions, and it's just, it's just so frustrating sometimes. I just wish that he'd move up, because it still feels like, although I'm nearly halfway through, he's like right down under my pubic bone and under my hip, and I'll be fine, and then all of a sudden I feel him like drop and like almost like click under them, and then it's just painful to walk, it's painful to move, it's painful to sit down. Just anything hurts. So yeah, and it's like this really intense kind of pressure feeling, like he stretches when he's under there, which is really interesting. So I've embarrassed myself in a few public places because if he moves under my hips or my pubic bone when we're out, it really makes me like jump like ow, and then I have to sort of stop and sort of let him settle before I move on in pain. So yeah, he's awkward, but I suppose that's typical of a boy. So mean. Well, today and yesterday I've started to think that maybe I'm having Braxton Hicks, which it seems really early like to have Braxton Hicks at 19 weeks, but my mum, I mentioned it to Mum yesterday, and she said that she had it earlier and earlier in every single pregnancy, and that they almost became more intense in every pregnancy as well. So I think that I'm having Braxton Hicks like the past 2 days or so, because I don't feel him click under my pubic bone on my hip, but I just get this real, my whole stomach goes tight and hard and into this really strange funny shape, and it's just rock hard, and it's like this really intense pressure. It doesn't hurt as such, but it's just really It's really, really weird. It's really difficult to describe if you haven't been pregnant before, but I think the only thing I could kind of compare it to is if you've ever used one of those sort of stick-on electronic tummy toning things, if you know what I mean. When you have them on the highest setting and it's like a really big pulse, like, and it pulls you forward, a Braxton Hicks kind of feels like that same kind of intense pulling pressure muscle feeling. So yeah, I hope I've made sense there. And along with all the other symptoms are spots. Spots have been another big one this week. I seem to have just broken out all of a sudden. My skin was looking pretty good, and then like 4 days ago I was like woke up with spots everywhere. But yeah, I don't know if you can really see them. I'll get closer. No, they're not too bad, but they're like all around my chin. Izzy's trying to get the camera again, can you believe it? All around my chin and on my lips and around my cheeks, which I think again is to do with hormones. If you get spots around your chin and your lips, it's meant to do with hormones. Come on, you are a little monkey. Izzy's really reaching that age where she has full-on tantrums, like just throw herself onto the floor and have a tantrum. So, really trying, I think we're trying to sort of getting off track and moving on to Izzy, but we're trying the route of ignoring her when she has a tantrum, so that's why I'm ignoring her. I'm not being mean. Yeah, all gone now. Andy's home at last, so I should be able to do this video now without being interrupted. The most exciting thing that happened this week happened, it wasn't this morning, I think it was yesterday morning. Andy saw and felt kicks from the outside for the first time, and it's one of the first times that I've seen it too. They're the biggest kicks I felt so far, and you could really see like it was like part of my tummy popping up on the right hand side. So he always seems to kick like right on my right hand side, so I'm guessing that it's sort of head this end and then legs over here. But yeah, that's really good, and I'm just hoping that that means that I'm going to start feeling him more and more often now, because I've really hated having an anterior placenta. It's really not got me down, but like I hate not being able to feel him, because I feel like whenever I'm pregnant, if I can't feel them moving, it feels like I can't protect them as much. I know that's silly, but I just like to be able to feel like I'm keeping an eye on them. I suppose that's the best way of saying it. And without being able to feel him, I feel like I can't do anything to help him. I can't keep an eye on him. But yeah, it's really nice to start feeling him properly, and for Andy to be able to see him and feel him especially, because I think that's the point when men begin to feel involved in the pregnancy, because I suppose up until this point you're just getting bigger and bigger and they're just normal. In my last video I said that I thought Izzy was weaning. Well, she definitely has. She's 100% fully weaned. She hasn't had any boob for 9 days now. I think it's 9, but basically she hasn't had any, like, since the last video I made. She hasn't asked for it. She hasn't fussed about it. She just hasn't had any interest. And the one thing I was really scared of about weaning was getting her to sleep at night, because breastfeeding her was always the way I got her to sleep. It was like, that's all I ever did. And so for 16 months she was put to sleep through breastfeeding, and then all of a sudden she stopped. But it's been fine. Like, it's been like magically fine. We're really, really shocked with how well behaved she's been, how good she's been with it all. She has gone to sleep every single night without any fuss. Last night, I usually, for the first few nights I would put her in a sling and I'd wrap her up really nice and close, and I'd sing to her for like 20 minutes maybe it'd take, until she was asleep, and then I put her down in her cot. And then I stopped doing that after a few nights and just rocked her to sleep. And then last night I was rocking her to sleep, and she was getting tired and she was closing her eyes, but then all of a sudden she'd sort of wake up and look at me, and she does this really weird like cheeky peeking thing at you. So I risked putting her down in her cot awake. Oh, thank you, is that my helmet? Mommy's got a helmet. Yeah, I risked putting her down in a cot awake, and I was expecting to walk out the room and as soon as I closed the door her cry, but she didn't, and she just fell asleep slowly by herself in her cot, like happily fell asleep by herself. I'm still in shock now that she did that. I don't know whether it was just a one-off, but yeah, it's been incredible. And hello cheeky bum. And she has slept through the night, every single night. We haven't had any night wakings, we haven't had any fuss. So I don't know if that's because she's not being breastfed. She knows that there's no point in waking up. There's no point in getting up in the night because she's not going to get any boob anyway. She doesn't want it. So sorry if like the camera's wobbling. She's knocking my tower. But yeah. Anyway, it's fantastic. And as much as I'm gutted still about her weaning, and I wanted to tandem feed, I can see you. At least it comes with some kind of like huge advantages and benefits. So she was just given the Tower of the Earthquake test. Another symptom, I don't know if this is a symptom as such, but it's kind of like something that's changed, that I noticed again within the last few days. It's like everything has just happened all at once. I've noticed that my nipples have started to get darker. I haven't got the line on my belly yet. I did have that with Izzy, kind of like a faint one. I haven't got anything yet, but my nipples are starting to get darker. So that's just another random change. So I'm expecting to get that line at any time soon. Right, so I think that's everything. I have some baby buys to show you this week, and I've been really excited to show you them ever since they arrived. I have some nappies and I have some clothes. Okay, so baby buys. I also found that I've got some nipple shields as well. Get the Modelo ones. Izzy had a good chew on them. That's what that was all about. But yeah, these are, I got them in size medium, 20mm, and these are the best nipple shields I ever used. And this time round I really want to try not to get onto breast shields because they're kind of hard to like wean yourself off, but they really did save me last time. My mum bought me some and I started using them just at the point as my nipples were starting to crack, and I really do feel like it saved my whole breastfeeding experience and relationship. So I will try and go without them, but if I feel like I need to use them, I will use them again, because I used them last time, and although some people say they can damage supply and everything, that is very true, but I don't use them for very long and I never had any supply issues. I've always had like tons and tons of excess milk, so supply was never an issue for me. Right, so baby boy clothes. We've got some really cute stuff this week. We've got a fleece baby girl with monkeys on, and it's got monkey feet as well, which is really cute. That's like fleece, so it's nice and warm, and I thought that it'd be good to pop him in if I'm taking him out and I'm going to carry him, if I'm going to wrap him up in the sling. Keep him all snug. So I've got that, that's from Primark, so it was £5 I think. £5, so it's a bargain. This top is from Debenhams, and again it's monkeys, so as usual there's a monkey theme going on, and it's got little dangly wavy arms. I saw this top when I first found out I was pregnant, and I said to Andy that if by any chance we're having a boy, because I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've never seen myself having a boy, I just always expected to have lots and lots of girls. But yeah, I said if we're having a boy then we'll go back and we have to have that top. So we went back and this was the last one, and it's newborn size, so perfect. It was obviously meant to be. And then these are the last ones. These are from Next. I mentioned last week that I really love Next clothes, so we went back. So we've got one with cars on and a stripy one with blue sleeves and brown cuffs. And I love blue and brown together. I really do, so I really like that one. And then we got this one, which looks kind of boring from the front, but then on the back it's got little stars on the elbows, which I think is so cute. So yeah, they're the clothes that we got this week. Clothes are slowly starting to build up now. We found some unisex clothes while we were sorting through Izzy's. So yeah, right, and then we got some little Joeys, and these are the most adorable nappies I've ever... Oh, some arsehole in a car. These are little Joeys, and they're from the brand that make Rumperoos, and they are so tiny. I'm trying to think of something to compare them to, but I can't. Oh, I've got a Blackberry here. Andy's old blackberry. So compared to a blackberry, there you go, they're really tiny. Although they do sort of pop her up. This is the umbilical snap. It does pop her up. So they do go fairly high, and they've got loads and loads of stretch. They're adorable. I absolutely love them. They've got a fleece inner, and I especially like the double leg gussets because I've read loads of reviews and apparently they are absolutely bomb-proof from day one for breastfed babies, and that is just an absolute must for us because that's one of the reasons we want to use cloth nappies, apart from saving money and all the environmental friendliness of it. When we used disposables on Izzy as a newborn, every single time she pooed, which was a hell of a lot, she would leak all over her clothes, all over us, just everywhere. It was horrible. So we wanted to get some really tiny nappies because we want to, if we can, we don't want this baby to ever be in a disposable nappy. So these will probably be his very, very first nappies, and whether I'm in hospital or at home, these will be the first ones that he wears. I think this one probably because this is my favourite. It's the new preppy print. Andy doesn't like this print, but I don't care, I love it. I think the reason he doesn't like it, he says it's girly, and I think that's purely because we happened to get a nappy that had a lot of pink on the back, but I don't see a problem with boys wearing pink, so yeah, that's the preppy print, and this is the new peacock colour. I have a couple more of these coming. I have a spring green one, and which I've now just realised is going to be really similar to this. Anyway, I have the spring green colour, which is like a bright spring green, obviously, and I have the new phantom colour, which is just really, really deep black, and I love it. So yes, I think I may or may not get a few more of these, just because they're lovely. They're meant to fit up to £12, and I do believe that. A lot of reviews say that don't fit for very long, but I mean, when they're opened up, they do go quite big. And I mean, I know that might not look big to a lot of people, but Izzy was tiny for ages. She was £12 when she was like 3.5, 4 months old. So if this baby is anything like Izzy, it will fit in for at least a couple of months. So I'm probably going to get a couple of more of these. I will show you my belly now. Right, so this is with the top on. And then with the top up. I don't think I'm any bigger than last week. Although I popped last week, I don't think I've got any bigger. My belly button is all the way out. That really freaks Andy out, which is so funny. But yep. He's definitely growing. And I will see you next week. I'm going to do a few tag videos soon, so keep an eye out for those. And go and like my Facebook page, I'll leave a link below. So yeah, and I guess that's it, so I'll see you soon. Bye!